So this week, Reddit.com was asked to sum up their first sexual experience in one animated GIF, and these are some of the better responses they came up with. We all know this frustration. Try to plug in your USB port, it won't go. Turn it over, no, it still won't go, man. Perfect euphemism for your first sexual experience is like, am I in the hole? Am I in the hole? No, that's not it. No, is that it? Am I getting it? Is that... Dudes are idiots, man. We're just poking around in the dark, fucking helplessly, trying to find the wet, slippery hole. Help us the fuck out. Just pretend like you're the air traffic controller for your vagina and guide that shit in. It's not very complicated. And that's when Stephen Colbert dancing all fucking cool and shit, and Brian Kansas like, me? And Stephen Colbert's like, yeah, motherfucker, you! And then it's on. Those dudes are totally gonna bang. And the next one is a dude that can't seem to find his pocket. Sometimes you just can't find the hole. You try, and you try, and you try, but you just can't fucking find it. It's like it's fucking sealed shut and shit. And poor guy, he's just tried so hard to find that fucking pocket, and he just can't do it. And then he finally has to turn his back to the cameras and walk away like he meant to do that shit. You didn't mean to do that shit. You just got embarrassed on national television, man. That shit sucks. And the next one is clearly a euphemism for female masturbation. She just flicking her bean, just like a flicking the bean. Dudes out there, if you haven't learned how to flick a woman's bean, you gotta learn how to fucking flick the woman's bean. Look, let me explain the vagina to you. Alright, here's the vagina, right? And then there's like a fucking cobra, fucking shield at the top protecting the goddamn bean. And you gotta like pull the vagina apart a little bit. Then you gotta like push up on the fucking cobra veil and unveil that fucking sensitive ass spot. And then you gotta flick the bean, flick the bean, flick the bean. And then sometimes you gotta flick the bean through tongue and shit. Sometimes you gotta get fucking vibrators and shit. And you're like, brrr, like flicking the bean with the vibrators and shit. Sometimes you gotta get your fucking fingers up in there and flick the bean with the vibrator while you do your tongue at the same time. Seriously, dude, some women just don't orgasm very easily. You gotta do whatever the fuck you can to make that happen. It's like a riddle wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a puzzle, wrapped in a box, wrapped in a fucking pussy. You gotta get up in that shit and figure it out, man. It's like a Rubik's Cube. That's all part of being a good lover, man. You gotta do whatever the fuck you gotta do to make sure she gets off too. If you wanna get yours and get yours regularly, you better make sure she gets hers too. Cause if you can't fucking get the job done, I guarantee you she'll go out there and find somebody who can. And the next one is a cute little dog that don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's trying to figure the humping thing out. And he's just like, oh, I gotta hump something. And he ends up just kind of humping the grass and shit. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Reminds me of me when I was a kid. Just fucking humping everything. Fucking humping the door. I didn't know what the fuck was going on with my body. I just knew I had to hump something. That shit felt good. And the next one is a pussy getting rammed over and over and over again by a hard steel train. That's right, ram that pussy. Ram that pussy. And that pussy just sitting there, don't give a shit, just like, nope, can't even feel it. Cannot even feel it. But this reminds me, you know who I feel sorry for? Black dudes with small dicks. That must be awful, man. You work so hard to get a girl to sleep with you and she's all excited and then she finally unzips your pants and pulls it down and sees your little tiny black dick and she's all disappointed and shit. She's like, you lied to me. And you're like, I didn't lie to you, bitch. All black motherfuckers, they got big dicks. I can't help it if your racist ass believes ridiculous stereotypes. Suck it anyway. And the next one, she just barely touches the thing and then it's, oh shit, oh shit. Perfect euphemism for most girls in the first time with dudes. It's like you barely gotta touch a thing and the thing starts erupting all over the fucking place and you're like, what the fuck is going on with this shit? It's just goddamn erupting everywhere. Ladies, if this happens to you, if a guy prematurely ejaculates all over you, don't take it badly. It's a compliment to you, really. It just means that he found you so fucking sexy that his sperm wanted to leap out of his body and meet you immediately. And here's how it feels sometimes to make a woman orgasm. Just keep working on it. Keep working. Little left, little right, little in, little out, this, that, I don't know, whatever the fuck. Just keep working on it, dude. Maybe eventually something will happen. And for most of us, having sex for the first time is like a dog floating through space. We have no idea what we're doing. And for many of us, it's like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Little bit for you, little bit for you, little bit for you, just for everyone. And then we're like Ricky Bobby, we have no idea what to do with our hands. Rob shit, motherfucker! That's what you do with it! And this dog wants to beat the other dog to the hole, but denied, fuck no, you just got caught blocked by the dough, motherfucker. And the next one is clearly a Cunnilingus reference, just lapping that shit up the best way you can. I love the creepy eye just sitting there looking at you. And the other one's just sitting there watching him do it, like some crazy perverted goat freak. And this is cute as shit. The sheep's backing up. He's like, I'm gonna ram the fuck out of you, and then boop, fucking nothing. That perfectly illustrates the bravado of young men who are like, I'm gonna kill this shit. And then when it comes time, they're so fucking timid. They're like, am I hurting you? And she's like, no, you're not hurting me, motherfucker. Show that shit in there. And here's a guy at first glance that might seem like he knows what he's doing, but that's not the way to do it, dudes. Don't go all fast on that shit. You gotta tease it a little bit. Go slow, a little to the left, a little to the right, a little to the center sometime. Don't just fucking jump in there like a watermelon eating contest. Getting a woman off is not a fucking race, dudes. It's an adventure. And lastly, I love this gift. These two fucking psycho, insane, out of their mind, on drug chicks at a rave. Just doing the stupid white girl dances, lost all connection with reality, don't know what the fuck is going on. And yeah, she can wobble the garg, and she can lick the ball, stroke the shaft, and contemplate existence. That's the perfect girl. So anyway, dudes, sometimes sex can be awkward. Sometimes you come too fast, sometimes you can't come at all, sometimes you can't find the hole, sometimes the hole's so big you fall in. It's a crapshoot. But no matter how bad it gets, at least you can always go manual if you need to. Because it's just like my good friend Abraham Lincoln said over 1,000 years ago. Anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. It's true.